So hello guys, and welcome to another series of songwriting essentials here by moveproductions.com, where I can give you some advice from my experience as a writer, producer. I think what we're doing today is really the question in how to write a top 40 song. So I cannot give you all in a nutshell here within about 5 to 10 minutes, but I'm just trying to explain you the most important topics to write a great song. Even you don't have the most the biggest studio, the most expensive studio in the world, using the best tools in the world. You just need an essential kind of equipment you have, and with that you should be able to create a great song. If you have the basics of great beats, kicks and snares, of course that's great, an important setup you need to have. And of course some essentials like great piano, great strings, which is used in most common of the songs. If it goes more into electronic EDM music, of course then it needs some special kind of sense you need to have. And also the theory about MIDI controlling. We're using a lot of filters and effects in music. So, how to write a top 40 song, what is really essential? So I'd like to give you here just my perspective, trying to get to improve your skills. What is important, I have also a slide, I'm just running it through. I mean, basically it needs a few bit of talent, of course, and then really that you educate your skills, that you really learn from others, create abilities, and trying to improve your experience. When I look back in my career, I'm writing songs now more than, I would say, 20 years. I always try to make each song better, and of course then over the years I also learned from others in the studio, mixers and engineers, that I really can do my own mixes at a certain industry level. So I'm not going to using for industry demos, I'm not going to use external studios at this time. I'm just doing the best here at home, and I will show you some examples then also here in the video. And that's enough. Recording vocals properly, know the procedure how to mix it, and know the basics of mixing, where we also launch a separate mixing review then, which I can recommend you. So doing great mixes within 10 minutes of theory and not reading books and everything. So skill you need to have to write the perfect song. What is the perfect song? I mean, basically there I would say, it's 3 points which is essential as a theory, and you can find a lot in the internet if you Google and search on it. What is really the basic of a top 40 song? I mean, on the one hand side we talk about the popular song structure. Song structures is essential. It varies also from genres, from song to song, but there are always, if you listen exactly, there are always a few topics which are common and which are repeatable. So here on this slide there are to talk about 5 different structures. I mean, it doesn't matter which one you use, it's depending on the genre, but very essential. And if you take number 1, basic structure is kind of, you start with a verse, chorus, going to a bridge, and then you put 2 choruses at the end. That's a bit simple to basic, I would say. Number 2, much more important. I mean, and I learned and I read a lot about Max Martin and the way he went. So Max Martin always said you need to, in today's music industry, which mostly is a single market now, you need to attract your listener every 10 seconds of your song. So what does it mean? I mean, try anything in the production of your music to attract the listener in any way, either from the beat, from a special sound, can be a vocal effect, a rap, whatever. There are several ways. It can be a great sample you're using in your song. But that's something I really tried also in my songs, and I'll give you an example then, using effects to really keep the attraction of the song to the listener. even it's a great song or not a great song, you can use that technique all the time. So maybe to give you some more help here, example 2 is much more important than the standard structure in the song. So we're speaking about an intro, we're speaking verse, chorus, bridge, last chorus and an outro. I mean, this gives you more grip here on the songwriting process. And I'd like to give you some advice maybe from other producers, especially Max Martin, where I read a lot about his career and his improvements in his skills. So let's take, for example, number 1, the intro. So the intro normally can be around 5 to 10, 15, maximum 20 seconds, for example. And you can run an intro with 4 beats, 4 bars, 8 bars, 16 bars, whatever. It shouldn't be that long, but it's depending, are you just using synths, using want to build up any dynamic, or putting in vocals already. What I want to say is really, Max Martin told once, you know, he tries to attract the listener every 10 seconds of a song. Just imagine this, what does it mean? I mean, you have several options when you create a song, using beats, using samples, using vocals, using raps, whatever. Yeah, to really keep the listener or keep the listener's attraction also valid, always valid, you know, with such effects or kind of a great beat. That's very tricky and not easy, but maybe, yeah, this also presentation should help you, the information here, how to create a great song, keeping the listener alive. Also, in my songs, I'm trying to use any samples or stuff to really give any song a special kind of vibe, you know, unique vibe that it really attracts and exploding, you know, that really using some hits or anything that really shows the people, hey, I'm here, you know, listen to the song. So that's in the intro, verse, chorus. More or less, depending on the genre you're using, take any one of these. I think a little bit different is number 5. Then maybe in the electronic music, you can use simple structures. But there are maybe future-based songs. They have probably more complicated structures than a common pop song. So this is about song structures. You can also find in the internet. And let's speak about number 2, which is called the narrative arc in songwriting. I mean, what does it mean? I mean, as I told you, number 1 is very important to keep listeners' attraction, and that's basically, beside the structure, very important to keep the arc in the song. I mean, to keep the tension in the song. So at the beginning, the 3 parts, beginning, middle and the end, you should really follow these guidelines. As I said, you can have an intro which really bombs and blasts everyone away. You can have a smooth intro with strings, whatever, which just builds up the topic. I think very important that you always have a rising action, starting from the intro, verse 1 to chorus 1. Just make a poor chorus 1 with not fully instrumentals or beats. Just leave it poor. Go into the second verse with more attraction, more sounds. Then in the chorus number 2 you give pretty much energy. You can use also in a chorus 2 parts. What I'm using is also divide your chorus in 2 parts. So the first 4 or 8 bars is just melody number 1 in a chorus, so I have very good experience with that. Melody number 1, and also bring a second topic on melody number 2. You can see the most popular pop songs, this kind of technique. And after that, chorus 2, you just break it down to the bridge. And also here you have several options. Going fully down with your topic, or using something completely different. If you, for example, listen to a song from Jennifer Lopez, they always have this kind of danceable breakup beats, you know. There are several options you have. Bring the last choruses 1 and 2, and then you go into an outro. And also the outro, that's actually chorus number 2 at the end, should be different. And it should really have a falling action. You know, it's like a mountain. You build like a mountain during a song, the bridge falls together, then you climb again to the mountain, and at the end you fall. And that's the basic thing about songwriting, and keep the attraction and attention on your songs. Try this as best with anything you can, and of course very important of a song is arrangement. Maybe I give another YouTube session here about arrangement and options you can do, maybe with the practice of a song. But that's more or less the basic topic about the narrative arc. I hope this was okay for you. And then next thing, I mean, when we're talking about songwriting, there, beside the structure, this narrative arc, we also talk about the 4 blocks of songwriting. What means the 4 blocks of songwriting? So, which is important if you create a song besides structures? It's, in my eyes, what I've learned from other producers and writers, number 1 is beat. What means beat? I mean, beat means, on the one hand side, it has to have the right tempo, good rhythms, good rhythmics, and overall with a great kick drum and snare, everything has to match. That's a beat. And beat is very important, because imagine someone's driving in a car listening to a new track they never heard before. So on the one hand side, there are always 2 topics. You listen to maybe a melody smartly in the background, also if you're in a hotel, restaurant, in a lounge, whatever. Maybe what catches you is the melody, what catches you is the beat, or what catches you is the vocal or lyrics. I mean, that's the 4th thing. That's why I really put this also in a list about 4 blocks of music. It's beat on the one hand side. Number 2 is arrangement. You might have a great melody in your sounds, a sample, whatever. So arrangement is more chords, melody and sounds you're using in your song. That's number 2. Number 3 is what I talked to you about. It's the structure of the song, and not only the structure, it's the narrative arc. It's the tension of your song that can really blow somebody away, you know, if you have a great song using great tension. And number 4, actually, that's the vocals. And vocals, when I talk about vocals, it's the quality of the singer you have, it's the lyrics, and the voice overall. How does it really match to the song? So some professionals really say, you know, they always come with this explanation, which they really, more than 2/3 of the song is the vocals, or some say it's 80% of the song, 80% of the vocals. So why is that so important? It's pronunciation, it's the lyrics, it's melody all together that drives the song. I have to agree, I have to underline it in the meantime. As a songwriter, I'm always using the perfect vocals for each song and the topics you have. And also I learned you can have a great song which you really feel is a top 40 song, or it's a hit song, it's your first or next hit song. And what happens, you're using a singer which does not really fit to the song, and he can sing pretty well, you can mix it down, but at the end something is missing, you know. And that's also my experience when I was producing more than about 200 songs, more or less in the meantime. The right vocal to the right song is essential, and to find this, it's not really easy. Imagine I'm working out of Switzerland here, so we have talented singers, but not, you know, it's a big crowd probably as you have in other in other hotspots like Los Angeles, London or New York, whatever, where you have a great music scene and a big music scene. So this is also critical for me to find the right vocal for the song. And in the meantime, I'm using my network all over the world, in the UK, in Germany. I need singers also in Switzerland, and just hanging around in socials and texting, you know, to some potential artists if they want to record my song. So that's the job besides songwriting, and that keeps me really still very young, I have to say. So 4 blocks of music, narrative arc, and the song structure. That's in my eyes the key topic of songwriting essentials. Of course, you need to have skills, talent, and great song ideas. But reality shows all the time that with simple songs, you can really have great success in the industry. doesn't necessarily mean you have complicated or, you know, the next rocket science songs. No, it does not. So keep your stuff simple and easy for the listener. Think of Max Martin and his philosophy, of course, and take these 3 essential songwriting tips from me, and hopefully then you will also create great songs, top 40 songs, as a next step. So that was it. We're now listening to a song of mine. I give you a short demo and then we are finished. Thanks for watching. Please check also our other videos on YouTube. We have a lot about home studio release, product reviews. We have songwriting, home studio essentials, testing mic, everything. So that's just my experience I give you here on YouTube and my tips and advices, do's and don'ts. I hope you like it. See you next time to another episode of songwriting, home studio or product reviews. Happy weekend. See you next time. Bye bye. MUSICPRODUCTIONS.com MUSICPRODUCTIONS.com MUSICPRODUCTIONS.com